Well, I am happy to talk to you. Before we get into the fights, I haven't had a chance to really talk to you since you've become a father and you made that transition into being a family man. How has that changed Shawn Porter, the boxer, now having a beautiful wife, beautiful children at home who are waiting for you to return?
You know what? I think that everything's pretty much been the same. My wife actually with this fight, she's all the way tuned in. She's right there, been my number one helper outside of the boxing team. And my kids, of course, they're providing the best energy that I need when I need it, you know. So I think collectively this is turning into a big fight family. It was just a fight family with myself and my dad, but it's growing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So much of the narrative is with this fight has been about Shawn's aggressive style, about Crawford's boxing ability. What is something about your fighting style that you feel is often overlooked since there's so much focus on the aggression?
Yeah, I think that people think that that's the only way this fight can be won. I disagree. I think that I don't think, I know that I have great boxing ability, and I do feel that there's going to be some moments where I'm going to have to outbox him and outthink him. And I think that that is probably the thing that's overlooked in terms of what the skills and everything that I possess.
Mhm. In the boxer's eye, you've been on both sides as the boxer, as the commentator. Other than being in the fight, how does Shawn the commentator differ from Shawn the boxer?
Doesn't. There's really not much difference, which is kind of crazy. Quick story. Working with Max Kellerman on this Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder trilogy, and we were being interviewed. And I told the guy interviewing me, I said, I attack this the same way I attack a fight. I said, Max doesn't know this, but I'm competing against him right now. Like at some capacity, I said, I know I'm not going to be better than Max tonight, but I am focused on being better than Max tonight. And I take that same type of competitive spirit and everything that you see in the boxing ring. It all shows up on fight night when I'm on ringside.
Mhm. Listening to some of the commentary from fans and just discussions taking place, people view you as a step up fight for Crawford, and it is a terrific fight. It's a terrific matching
Yeah.
of competitors. However, they're comparing your fight to Crawford's fight, say against Postal, totally different beasts. When you look at Crawford and some of his best wins, what makes in your eyes a best win for a fighter?
Terrence Crawford this is what I love about him. He's dominant. And with every fighter that he's fought, he's figured out, all right, what do you want to do? All right, get that out of here because you're not going to do that. And then this is what I'm going to do. And he's dominated everybody. And I love that about him. That's why he's been so spectacular, his way of dominating fighters.
Mhm. When you flip it the other way and you look at your best wins, what do you think is your best win? Because we all have different criteria
Yeah.
of what we think is a good win. What do you
Yeah.
think is your best win?
You asking for a specific fight or just in general?
In however you'd like to answer.
Sure. I think in general, I have an ability to control and manipulate my opponents, and that's who I am and what I do. And I don't intend to be any different on fight night against Terrence Crawford.
Mhm. In your mind, now that we see there's a lot of attention on this fight, you've had a spectacular resume full of lots of champions. At the conclusion of this fight, a win is obviously the goal. But in your mind, what is the best case scenario of win? Is it about a knockout? Is it about dominating for 12? What is the best possible outcome, do you think?
The best possible outcome is for me to look better than Terrence Crawford. If you're looking better, if you're performing better, you're winning. And then of course, second to that would be a knockout. We worked hard for this fight, and we worked hard to get prepared for this fight. And I think that we worked on some specific punches and techniques to line up a knockout. So we'll see what happens.
I enjoy the mutual respect that you and Crawford have for each other. Can boxing continue to exist for competitors who visibly show mutual respect? Because so much there's so much caricatures and, made animosity and narratives that are creative. Can fighters still coexist in a space where they have mutual respect for each other the entire time?
Yes, fighters who respect one another. I think that of course can coexist, and it will push boxing forward. I think beyond that is I think if people know the stories, I think that makes them understand, like, oh, okay, that's why those guys respect one another. Oh, okay, that's why, they're talking the way that they're talking. I think the world, when you see us in the ring, because we're fighting, you expect animosity, you expect hatred, you expect anger and things of that nature, but that's not always the case. And it's never the case for me in the ring. I really don't even know how I would operate under being, mad or angry or anything like that. I know how Terrence will operate, and I expect to use that at some point during the fight. But collectively, yeah, I think that it's gonna come a point where you're gonna see more respect, and you will see animosity from fighters moving forward.
Mhm. And lastly, as you and Kenny head into this fight, the day that you found out the fight was finalized, what did he say to you? What was the conversation you had when it was like, this is another great opportunity for us? What did he say to you? If you can.
Shoot. We work. We don't sit back. We don't talk about what's coming, how it came, or anything like that. We work. And so before the fight was even announced by the WBO in terms of me being the mandatory, we were already working, and we just continued to work, and that's how we operate. I expect after this fight, we'll get into some really good conversation, and maybe we'll talk about how the fight was made and promotions and all that kind of stuff. But we've done nothing to this point but work. That's the only thing that matters for us.
Mhm. Well, I thank you, Shawn, for your time. Best of luck on Saturday. I'm really looking forward to seeing you fight, and I thank you again.
Thank you. See you
Take
soon.
care.